Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. I am so happy you're here. This is Creativity and Inspiration, and I'm Lisa. How's everybody doing? I actually filmed this on Friday, went to download it, went to edit it, and there were parts missing. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's user error or if it's camera error. I guess we'll see how this one goes today. It is Saturday, but it is time for the spring journal. I'm super excited to share this with you. And the ideas that I'm sharing today are ideas that every year I make a spring journal. I love spring after a long winter. I love spring. I love the colors, the birds, planting. You know, I'm a big gardener. I love flowers. So I make a spring journal every year. But I noticed that I was making the same spring journal every year. Okay? And that's fine. You know, we all have this thing where we have sets of papers that we put in journals, okay? We might make up signatures way before we even get close to using them because we do use the same papers with maybe a few special papers thrown in here and there. But we're making the same journals, or at least I do. I make the same journals basically and maybe throw in specialty tags here and there, like I said. Something different occasionally, but most of the time it's a process now. You know, we've got it down. We're kind of just going along. It's efficient. It's a process. Well, today what I'm going to give you are some ideas to take that beautiful journal that you already make from here to up here. And I'm going to show you just a couple of different ideas I had that hopefully you'll love and that will inspire you with your own. Or maybe you like these so much. Anyway, I'm going to show you both on some tags and on pages, as well as a few little extras. So come closer and we'll get into this. I will say I did not sew this in yet. I wanted to get it filmed yesterday, and sewing in takes me a little while because of my CRPS. So I just put a headband on it and I said I'll sew it in later. Well, I'll sew it in later. But come on in and let's talk. Now, remember, not every page is decorated. I wanted to highlight these special touches that are not everyday touches that we put in, but that would definitely make people go, oh, wow, that's really cool. Or if you're selling your journals, it might help you command a higher price. Okay, so it's all going to be about the spring journal and the extra touches that are going to make somebody say, wow. A lot of them are 3D extra touches. Some of them are not. So on the cover, I didn't do anything special. Everything I wanted to be a pop or that wow factor is inside on a page or a tag. However, I do want to show you this, but I will talk about the cover. The cover is a file folder and it just has a spring paper decoupaged on it. This, though, is really cool. I'm using this as a paper clip, but it is a vintage clip-on earring. I got it in a bag from an estate sale. I probably paid $1 for the bag of Costume Joy. This was in there. It goes perfect with the theme of this journal. So the first thing I want to talk about is using items that maybe aren't even used in a journal, like clip-on earrings, brooches, necklaces. If you find links to a watch and they're really cool, string them up and use them as a journal charm. So think outside of the box when you're looking at things. Sort of like I did when I created a journal out of the wallet, which I will link this video above. This is just stuff we do all the time. I will say that I like to put a piece of heavy scrapbook paper as my first page in a signature because I think it helps strengthen it. And if you're going to use it or if you're going to sell it and it's going to be used, this gives it, like I said, another level of strength to be flipped and opened all the time. Isn't that pretty? That came from a friend. I bought it from her. She doesn't do it anymore, but I just think it's gorgeous paper. Okay, remember to include fabric in your journal. They add a nice texture. They're different to the eye. They add a softness. They add different colors. And it's nice to get a different feel. Now on the back, I decorated the side that's kind of, it's the behind the fabric, the back side of the fabric. So this is the bright side, this side is not. This is where I added my paper flower with the postage stamp center in it. And you can see how pretty it is, how well it goes in the spring journal. So that's definitely some ideas in a video you need to check out as well. Okay, here's the first thing, well, first two things that are going to add some wow to a journal. And you might be going, well, I put ribbon beside, as a page border all the time. Here's the deal. What kind of ribbon are you putting? If you put a ribbon that is thin and has, like, this is eyelash trim, and has movement like this eyelash trim, it gives the illusion that it's moving, okay? That it's blowing in the wind. Don't set it straight up and down. Add that curve in there. That makes it seem more realistic, more alive. It gives it, like I said, movement. It tricks your eye into thinking, oh, there's a breeze. And then I added an applique at the bottom. Okay, right behind that is this tag that I want to talk about. The bluebird at the top is just a die cut from, somebody that we probably have a lot of die cuts from. You buy them in the packages, Tim Holtz, at different stores, right? So that came out of one of his packets. And then this bird die cut, I cut. The window die cut, I cut. But here's the deal. This is normally not a 3D die cut. I just layered a couple of glue dots behind it and made it pop off the page, okay? So that's one way that I'm giving this depth. I'm making it different than a normal tag. The second way is I just used illusion to create another 3D look. And that is with the window die cut, the bird, and then the book page behind it. Putting the bird on the outside of the window putting the bird on the outside of the window die cut and the page behind the window die cut, it gives it a sense of 3D, just like our bird at the top. And then I added different texture with everything is paper. These leaves are some fabric leaves that I found at Joann's, I believe, or Hobby Lobby. And then I added my green eyelash trim too to give that movement again. So layering different consistencies or textures like paper and fabric. Also how you layer stuff and doubling up on just simple glue dots can create a tag that's different than what you might normally put in. Now to add another 3D pop wow to this journal, I just bought a little flower stem from Dollar Tree. And I got the flowers that are floppy and you can manipulate, okay? I took them off the stem along with one leaf and layered them on my page, glued them with E6000. In the center, I layered a little foil and just a little bead. And I have something so unexpected, but it's so beautiful and it goes so well in this journal. This would also be something really fun to do for a wedding journal, a gardening journal. It's an added, unexpected pop. Somebody that opened this would be amazed to see this on a page. And it would be thrilling because you don't normally see flowers on a page like this. Here's another something that I added that is not typical, that is a little different. And again, it adds more of a luxurious feel to the journal. Because what I did was I took some twine and broke it all apart and created a nest. And it's a 3D nest. It pops off the page. As you can see there, I put in some eggs. I just used the letters off a Trivial Pursuit card. And then the bird is paper. Again, I am mixing textures. I'm creating a 3D element that really elevates my page to the next level. Here, I also drew on a tree, but I only inked it. If you wanted to paint it, you could. I also brought that down on my little flip up here, which is like just a little notepad. But I carried it down so the tree and the bird all look like they belong. Now here what I did was, again, I used fabric, but I used it in a different way. I created a flower with petals and a yarn stem, but then to make it unusual and give it some interest, I put it growing out of a lavender seed packet. Again, this would be great for somebody that loves to garden, or if you just want to make a gardening journal, get a bunch of seed packets, intersperse them throughout, and use them in different ways, because the unexpected is what is going to really, the unexpected is what makes people think your journals are special. Okay, here's something else unexpected. One, I created a snippet roll with just neutrals, okay? Doing this journal, it's all about spring, about being outside, flowers, birds, that kind of thing. To me, this looked like potting soil or soil, dirt, and rocks and that kind of thing. I thought, okay, I'll make a pocket like we do, but behind it, I drew in flowers. You could cut out flowers. You could make it however you want. And I did button centers, okay? But the unexpected thing right here is normally when we have pockets and we pull tags out of our pockets, there's not anything behind there. There's no interest. This is an art. This turned this page into a piece of art while also making it functional. Okay, now this, I'm going to move the thing. What I did here is I used the design on the doily itself and put a butterfly. These are flowers, and I put the butterfly. But to really take it to that next level, I added a butterfly on the page behind the doily as well. They're not connected. It ties the two pages together, but it adds depth, it adds interest, and it makes it look like it's a 3D scene. So if you have a short page and a big full page behind it, tie them in together somehow. Here, I just cut out a feather, and I used a line to show movement. Don't be afraid to add movement into your journal pages, onto your journal pages. And that can be as simple as drawing a light line that when somebody sees it, they're going to get the impression of the feather floating to the ground. Wooden elements are also a nice unexpected touch. They're 3D. But they're flat enough that they do not bulk up a journal. Here's a fun one. Again, I took just a butterfly envelope that I had. Then I added different die-cut butterflies on top of it, like they were flying off my envelope and being set free. Off they go. So thinking outside the box and not just stopping with the envelope. Thinking, how can I bring this page more to life? How can I add more interest to this page? This page, I painted it yellow, and then I drew on a bird, and then I put pops of blue like it was the sky, but they're also where I can write. And then for the bird, I added tail feathers. Or if you think it looks like a rocket, whatever. But add fabric into a flat drawing, a paper drawing, or whatever. Again, you're elevating from like level 1 to level 3. Now this is probably my favorite. Y'all saw this trick at Christmas. This is where I just took a stencil. I took some modeling paste. You can do it with wall putty on the stencil around and created this great border. It's vines and a bird. It's just gorgeous. It really pops on this pink paper. It would pop on coffee stained. And this definitely is elevating. This would be beautiful in a wedding journal as well. Now we did a video with the tiles from Dollar Tree a couple of videos back. And here again, I'm using the tile. It goes with my theme because it's like river rock. I just cut a section out and I'm using it for a pocket. It's unexpected. You don't expect to see a river rock in the journal. This is a great way to add river rock that doesn't add a lot of weight or bulk to your journal. But it's pretty cool when you turn the page and there it is. Now, this tag is practicing color, complementary colors. And complementary colors are colors that just, they complement each other and they make you really happy. And the colors here, we have some colors that are neighbors that just go, they're comfort colors. These are our comfort colors. The yellow, the orange, and the pink, they just kind of go together. You're used to seeing them together. And it makes you feel, okay, that's normal, that's comforting. But then the pop of green down here, oops, the pop of green down here is a complementary color to the pink, and it's unexpected and it brings that wow factor. And you can take this same idea that's in this tag and bring it down to a page, and that will give you a wow as well. And that's it, guys, for the wow factors in our journal. So, guys, that was some ideas just to take our journal pages from the ones we pull all the time and we put in our journals and we love them, but to take them from our all the time journal pages to, oh wow, journal pages. To add a little excitement, something unexpected, some different textures, some different looks for the eye. Now you might say, okay, that's great for a spring journal or gardening journals, and I think I mentioned wedding journals, but what else? Where else could I use this? Guys, there is a ton of ideas. You could use it in, if you wanted to do like a vintage with cleaning, household chores kind of journal, and keep track of, maybe your household inventory, something like that. You could do laundry on a line. You could use fabric. You could use all sorts of different things. A sewing journal, again, you could use patterns. You could use tape measures, just tons of things. So there are a lot of possibilities just besides what I showed you. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this journal. It was a lot of fun putting together. We have a lot of great videos coming up. You don't want to miss out. So guys, thanks for being here with me today. I'm sorry it didn't go up on Friday, but Saturday's the next best day. Bye.